Last weekend, I spent 2 full 8-hour days talking to 200 plus home service business owners at a home show, figuring out biggest bottlenecks they had, the things they were doing really well, and just doing a discovery on the home service business because I'm in the home service business myself, and I help home service businesses scale through online marketing. If you don't know me yet, my name's Carson Hall, and I've generated multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in the home service niche for businesses of my own and other people's businesses. But today, let's dive into this. 5 things I learned talking to 200 plus home service business owners. The one thing I learned after talking to all of these businesses is the bar is way lower than everybody thinks. Almost nobody's doing the basic stuff. So if you try even just a little bit harder than the average person, or you put in a little bit more grit, a little bit more grind, and think a little bit more strategically, you are going to run right through most of your market. But to get into number one, almost nobody's using AI in their business. Just literally having AI puts you ahead than most of the businesses I talk to. If you have AI running anywhere in your business, you're already basically ahead. That's it. Literally all you need is just to have it. But the 3 ways that I saw most of these people using or implementing AI into their business was one with lead tracking, knowing everywhere where each lead came from, whether that was from a referral, whether that was from Meta ads, Google, door-to-door, mailers, yard signs, whatever it is, using some sort of CRM or platform and AI to help them keep track of what acquisition channels are most profitable for them and where they're getting the most amount of leads to then iterate and maybe double down on that channel that's working really well, or maybe work harder on a different channel that's kind of slacking, so on and so forth. But the second one was lead follow-up. Some of the biggest businesses there, the businesses that I would say were doing the best in terms of like profitability and like running the business smoothly and efficiently, were using AI for texting and following up automatically, so they're not having a ton of leads slipping through the cracks. And me myself, after talking to most of them, is that was the biggest thing I saw between like the businesses doing really well and the ones kind of mediocre and shitty ones, where the businesses doing really well had AI following up with leads. They had text campaigns going out to long-term follow-up where they were texting leads month over month over month. They had the first 7 days of a lead coming in, they were getting touched every single day. They had appointment or reminders to their team to make sure their team follows up with leads if it's a lead that needs to be followed up with over call and not just over text. That was the second one. And number 3, which I believe they should be doing a lot more besides just this, but most of them were literally only using AI for just like in-house team stuff of like emailing back and forth, scheduling jobs, and like bullshit busy work, and like doing payroll and things like that, when in reality, AI is way more capable than just these 3 things. But these are the only 3 like big main ones that I saw most of these businesses doing. So if you're doing anything past this, just know you're way ahead. But the move here is you don't really need anything crazy to like implement AI into your business and like still be ahead. A system that texts a new lead back in under a minute and keeps following up for weeks will beat pretty much everyone I talk to. That's the kind of stuff I build for people, and it's the single biggest edge right now because nobody else is doing it. And especially these older folks, they literally, some of them had no AI into their business at all. Like they didn't even know what Claude was. And I was like, bro, are you crazy? But 2, most owners have no real marketing engine, organic or paid. The majority of them barely have any organic marketing at all, which I think is genuinely crazy, because organic marketing is, in my opinion, how you build like a really big brand and get people to like you a ton, to where you're only not just referrals building your brand, but like organic marketing is going to build your brand a ton. Some of them post absolutely nothing, and some aren't even running paid acquisition channels right now. A lot of these companies are genuinely just relying off straight referrals because they've been around for so long, where they don't really need to, but if they were someone who wanted to grow exponentially, then they would. So the whole thing is completely wide open. Owners who were actually growing are running Facebook ads with the real system behind them, really good creatives, the correct targeting and follow-up that catches the lead with like an actual system to convert them as soon as the lead comes in. So Facebook ads, I would say, and based on the data I pulled, like I literally just did an interview with this guy who scaled his permanent lighting company to like 4x in the last 7 months through actually pulling the lever on Facebook ads. But Facebook ads are the biggest lever for any business to get in front of the most amount of people who don't know you yet. Organic builds trust over time, paid gets you leads now. Most of the operators I talk to are doing absolutely nothing. So even doing just one puts you ahead. And number 3, this is the one that really irked me the most, and it's most owners don't actually know their numbers like really at all. Majority of these guys like aren't profitable, or they're barely profitable, and a lot of them don't understand their own data at all. Like it was genuinely sad. They couldn't tell me. Like I asked a ton of guys just to kind of test the waters and figure this out for myself. Like, what is your cost per client acquisition, or what's your client acquisition cost? Like, are you running ads? Okay, what's your cost per lead? Which marketing is actually making you money? Where are you getting most of your leads from? And most of them are just like, oh, I don't know, I get leads come in. I'm like, bro, how are you making decisions and the correct decision if you don't understand your data? And it was a really big, like, kind of epiphany for me of like, wow, I understood that, like, in the B2B, from what I've seen in the B2B niche, they understand their data like to a fucking T. Like, what is their cost per booked call? What is their cost per qualified booked call? Client acquisition cost and things of that nature. But in the home service niche, no one really knows. They just really care about the top line revenue that's coming in and then the amount that they get paid at the end of every month in terms of profitability. So if you're running a home service company, my suggestion to you would be to track literally everything. That's what I do for my own water filtration company. And it makes things run so much smoother because I have actual clarity to make decisions. I'm not just making decisions based off emotion or gut feeling, which are the two biggest things you can make, like, worst things you can make decisions off of. Besides, I mean, gut feeling, sometimes I would say always trust your gut, but you shouldn't be making all your decisions based off of gut feeling. So track everything, where leads come from, how much leads cost, what actually turns into a job. In all reality, this is where the AI systems and proper ad tracking pay off, because once you see the numbers, you know exactly where to put your money. And most of the market is flying blind. So just by doing that, you will get ahead because you're making data-driven decisions. And we all know that data-driven decisions are going to put you in a better position than someone just making decisions off emotion. But number 4, this is one big thing I took away from a lot of the bigger companies, and that's that customer experience is still what carries the biggest companies. Customer experience is everything in business, and the biggest companies I talk to, word of mouth is still carrying most of their marketing, which is kind of crazy, but it's true. And a huge part of experience is just speed, I would say. There's obviously a lot more that goes into it, and it's answering fast, never dropping a lead, continuing good communication. And the biggest thing I would say that's not a part of this, that's not on here, is I want you to ask yourself this question when you're communicating with a client or you're going into business at all. And the question is, how can I get this person to remember me and only me when the topic of my industry comes up? And a couple simple things, the way of doing that is just like going above and beyond on unreasonable hospitality. Like, the trash cans are at the end of the driveway. Take them to the side of the house. There's trash in the yard. Pick up the trash. Gift bags after. Show them that you actually care. Sit there and talk to them for 5 to 10 minutes after the job. Talk to them about their life, not just whatever the job is you're doing. Make a friend. Build rapport. Things like that are going to take you way above and beyond than any other home service company on planet Earth. So if you get that part right, the business will kind of just market itself. Speed lead, good follow-up. Again, on the AI system side, AI can take care of a lot of it. It's a massive piece of it, and answering fast, following up, taking care of people, that is the compounding one. And I really urge you to ask yourself that question of, how can I make this client remember me and remember me in like a good way? Like, how can I make them remember me as someone that they like, someone that they enjoyed working with? But number 5, and finally the last one, the bar is extremely low in this industry. In the home service niche, the older heads are not even like really trying anymore. Like I said, most of the older guys that have been around for 20 years are just running off referrals nowadays and word of mouth, which is like, it's okay because they've been around for 20 years and they don't necessarily have to, but that means that there's an extremely big gap in the market for someone who's going to come into the industry and really make waves by providing extremely good hospitality, marketing on Facebook and Instagram, understanding how to get a really good Google My Business profile and get themselves to the top of Google, and then get really good reviews, obviously. It's like, if you can just come into the business and put your foot down and actually grind on every single aspect of the business, whether that's marketing, sales, unreasonable hospitality, client and customer experience, whatever it is, and obviously amazing fulfillment's good too, and having a great service, you are going to make waves in your wherever you're running your business at, whatever your city is, whatever your industry is, you're going to make waves because the bar is just set so low. Like, literally 40% of the owners don't even care about growing fast. Like, they genuinely just don't care. So like I just said, if you work a little bit harder than the average person or than the normal business owner should, you're going to run right through them. And that's why home service is still one of the best industries to get into, because it's never been easier to actually succeed. Somebody who's serious about growing fast will destroy their market. And this is the whole point. Do the 4 things above, even halfway, and you're going to run through almost every single one of them. When I say do the 4 things we just talked about, and you're going to run through every single buddy in your market, no questions asked. And the biggest things I took away from this, to kind of summarize it as a whole, is AI puts you ahead. Most have no marketing engine. Nobody knows their numbers. Customer experience carries it. And the bar is so low that little effort beats the whole entire market. So if you're running a business and you are curious on figuring all these things out for yourself, you want to figure out all your data, you want to figure out the best ways to market it, whether that's Facebook, Google, word of mouth, different AI systems for referrals, unreasonable hospitality, AI systems, whatever it is, click the link below. We can jump on a call and just pretty much go over a full business audit for you. I don't want anything from you. Yes, if you love what I do and you want to work with me, sweet. We'll work together and we'll make a fuck ton of money together. But worst comes to worst, we get on a call, we identify all the bottlenecks in your business, and then I show you exactly how you can implement them. And then you either go implement them yourself, have someone else implement them, or you pay me to implement them. Regardless, I hope you guys keep making a shit ton of money and drop a like, drop a comment, shoot me a DM, CXRSONHALL, and we can just chat. I love connecting with everyone. Besides the point, have a good day. Cheers, fellas. Keep killing it.